This is all about heart-brain coherence, and Dr. Joe does this in a lot of his meditations. If you don't want to listen to a long meditation with Dr. Joe, which is totally understandable because that can be tough sometimes, this can be done in 3 minutes. This is what happens to the body. Your immune system gets a boost. Your parasympathetic nervous system gets turned on. So that means your body's going into a rest and relaxation state. Your heart rate variability gets increased. So your heart rate variability is basically the distance between heartbeats and up and down there. And what that does is actually it triggers the creation of telomerase, which is helping the growth of telomeres, which help insulate DNA, which basically helps longevity, extend longevity. So these are some of the things it does, but one of the biggest things it does is you're actually, when you start from here, you are syncing. It's almost like that figure 8, right? You're syncing the heart and the brain, and you're doing it from the center of the heart. What that's doing is it's getting the same wavelength, the same hertz from these two organs. It's basically the gateway to gamma. Gamma is the brain state above high beta, right? It's the 30 to 100 hertz of pulses. So that means from the center of your brain, you're gonna get up to 100 per second pulses that bounce around the entire brain, 360. So why is that important? Well, not only does that state put you in the best healing state for the body, right? Those gamma states have a very similar signature to theta, which is theta is the healing energy of the body. When the body's in those states, you're usually sleeping, so that's when the body's in that parasympathetic nervous system. You're in the repair state. So that's the same thing in gamma. But the good thing about gamma is you're also getting heightened, remember I said that a lot of pulses are happening here? You're getting supercognition, so super awareness and also super calmness. At the same time, those things are happening. That is heart-brain coherence. This is a technique that was created by the HeartMath Institute. The first thing I do, you want to touch your heart in some way. Do this, or you can do the pray hands, because what that does is it brings attention to the heart. And what Dr. Joe will say is just put your attention in the middle of your chest, which is also very effective. You want to bring attention to the heart, feeling from the heart, not feeling from here and viewing the heart, right? It's not being up here in the head. It is being here in the heart and being in that space, feeling from that space. And then you're gonna slow down the breath. You could do like a breath of 6 to 8 seconds. And you want to use your stomach, right? Breathe deeply into your stomach. Use your diaphragm to pull down. You don't want to breathe up here in the chest, like that type of breath will be breathing up here, which only fills like a third of the lung. So you want to fill from the bottom. And this type of breath, it actually is sending a signal to your autonomic nervous system that you are safe. So the only time you ever breathe, right, like that is usually a time when you are relaxed or safe. There's nothing harming you. So we can calm down and just stretch out into space. And so it's almost like you're speaking directly to your autonomic nervous system or your subconscious mind, that's the body, and you're telling it to calm down. So these are the first 2 steps. 1, bring awareness to the heart, touch it, just feel from the heart, and then do those breaths for probably 2 minutes or so. There's a third step, and this technique, by the way, was developed by the HeartMath Institute, and they developed it, and there's one more step I'll tell you in a second, but they developed it studying monks from Tibet, and those monks who could meditate in the snow in a wet robe and melt all the snow around them. The monks that could go into gamma at will, or epsilon or lambda, just like bonker brain states, and those brain states have the same signature as theta and alpha. Those are the healing brainwave state. This is the technique the HeartMath Institute studied with those monks and developed. And so the first 2 steps, feel the heart. That's why you see a lot of monks pray like this. They actually are bringing attention to the heart. Step 2, slowing the breath down, so it's signaling to the body that you're safe. And then step 3 is bringing one of 4 emotions up. And you'll hear Dr. Joe say this. He'll say, feel gratitude in your heart. Feel it more. Feel it more, right? Feel gratitude. What are you grateful for? What could you be grateful for? The reason for that is emotions, as Dr. Joe said, all have a frequency signature. And what the Heart Math Institute found was there are 4 emotions that consistently for all humans have that signature that actually matched the same signature that they mapped in those monks from Tibet. So number 1 is gratitude. It's the easiest one, they said, for most humans, and it matched that signature of those meditators. Number 2 would be appreciation. What do you appreciate? Number 3 would be care. And number 4 is compassion. Compassion is not pity. It is not sad empathy. It is empathizing with somebody and wanting what's best for them, but not being attached to the outcome. And that's how the Tibetan monks describe compassion. They meditate a lot on compassion. So from what I understand from watching Greg, compassion seems to be the strongest signal, but also could be one of the most difficult to practice. So I focus on the gratitude and appreciation most. You don't have to do all of them. You could focus on a single memory, or you could focus on a single memory from your future, and be grateful for it. And again, as Dr. Joe would say, that is the feeling of it is already received. That's the signature that you have already received. So that's the heart-brain coherence. In about 3 minutes, you'll experience it.